So we have word now that WWE is going to be taking the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley and changing their group into a group called The Pride. That should be interesting. They're going to be going against a group called the Final Testament, which is Paul Ellering, Karrion Kross, Scarlett, and AOP. Two groups that need a big win should not be feuding with each other. I think Cornette said that two people who need a big win should not feud with each other because nobody really gets over in that. And it just seems like that's what's going to happen. Don't give me the US title tournament because Bobby shouldn't have even been in it. They should have just gave him the title. What, Bobby beating Logan Paul? That's not believable enough? Okay. And then he loses to Santos and another stable debuts. Nobody's going to be any better for all these stables running around. You tell me what the stable did for Damage Control. Was anybody elevated in that group? Or did you forget Io Sky had the title already? Exactly. All these stables, the only stable that's really getting any burn is Judgment Day and Imperium and Bloodline, of course. Those are only stables that really getting any burn right now. And Imperium kind of is not really doing anything because one of the guys is injured. So you really got the Bloodline on what, year 3? And you got what else? Damage Control, which should have been broke up. And now you're gonna have what, these 3 new stables, NLWO. Man, there's a lot of stables. DIY. It's just too many stables, and nobody's really getting the head for being in all these stables. A-Town Down Under. What other stables are there? I think, did I cover them all? I think that's about all of them. If there's any more stables, I'll try to think of them later. Oh, of course, Judgment Day. How did I forget that? The Judgment Day. But these stables, a lot of the people in these stables, they're not getting really anywhere. But back on the Bobby Lashley thing, I really hope that he could change brands. At this point, I really hope Bobby could get out of his contract and get over TNA. I'm going to be watching and monitoring the TNA situation very carefully. Moose won the title on the first night of TNA coming back, so that's awesome. So we see TNA is a company that has never been afraid to push different people, whether they look different, they talk different, they speak in Punjabi. Shout out to Jinder. I was going to make a whole video on Jinder, but I came to the Jinder party late. Everybody already had their videos out. But Jinder, a guy that when they give him the mic, he always gets himself noticed. Take note. He don't need a stable. He had stables and he was buried. And now he's by himself and he's just cutting good promos, getting heat, and just looking like a villain, looking like a bad guy, looking like somebody you want The Rock to walk down to the ring and whoop. Or if he walks down to the ring and he actually beats The Rock, somebody who you're going to be mad at, who you're going to wait for the pay-per-view and pay to see lose. Ain't that the whole point here? And then all these stables, really the point of a stable is to sell the t-shirt. That's really the point of a stable, is to sell the t-shirt. Judgment Day has a pretty cool shirt. I'm sure they sold a lot of shirts individually and collectively. The R-Truth shirts is flying out of there, even though he's not an official member. Rhea Ripley shirts flying out of there. Dom shirts flying out of there. So Judgment Day, Bloodline, we already know Bloodline been dominating for 3 years, making super money on t-shirts. I mean, every other week they got a new t-shirt out. Now they got the Yeet and No Yeet shirts. So, you know, Bloodline always gonna be swimming in the cash. LWO, they brought back a 20-year design, and you know, the point of a stable is to sell the t-shirt. So if Bobby Lashley, the Final Testament, the New Legado, if any of these groups really want to get somewhere, they're gonna have to have a cool shirt first and foremost. Cool entrance, good music, good gear, and a shirt that people want to buy. And I don't have the faith that they can do it again. And like, everybody's in a stable. Like, why are there so many stables in this company? And another thing I want to talk about before I get out of here, quick follow-up to my video on Carmelo Hayes and Austin Theory. If you didn't see it, go to my shorts. I posted the botch. And when I saw that match, I said to myself, who loses here? Because ideally, they would want both of them to lose. I'm like, somehow they're both going to lose this match. And that's exactly what happened. Unfortunately, it was to an injury. But neither one of those guys are in the plans. Why are they going against each other trying to put together a banger? You see what happens. Guys don't have to fly around the ring to get over. Guys don't have to do Spanish flies and Canadian destroyers to get over. I know it sounds like, oh, shut up, boomer. Not a boomer, but that's what it sounds like. It's like an old man yelling at the clouds. But the point is, go back to the Attitude. A lot of that wrestling in the Attitude era, the Nitro era, even in the early, like, Ruthless, it wasn't great wrestling. It was great storylines with continual loose ends being tied up or just giving us cliffhangers every week. Then at the pay-per-view would be a big send-off match, and you just really want to see, like, oh, I can't wait for Austin to get his hands on the corporation. It's no more of that no more. It's like two dudes come to the ring and just put on a banger. Give them 8 minutes. Go crazy, guys. It's like, okay, Ray and Hoovy was doing that, and Hoovy was well known for botching a lot. When you put on these bangers, look what happens. Big E almost lost his life in one of those banger matches. Brawling Bruce, another stable. I don't think they're together anymore. They're finna bring back Pete Dunne. Another black and gold. I'm not even going there. Congratulations, Butch. You played yourself. You had something with Butch. Go back to boring Pete Dunne. Who cares? But does New Day count as a stable? I'm all over the place in this video. But this video is mainly about stables and mainly about when they don't really want to put you over, they're going to throw you in a stable, man. Just throw you in a stable. Just have you in these pointless matches. Tell them, go out there and put on a banger. We're giving you 8 minutes. Like, dog, who wants to see 8 minutes or 15 minutes of straight wrestling, chain wrestling? Who wants to see that? Bunch of flippy dippy, what do they say? Flips, kicks, and dives. Who wants to see that? And then it's like another match of it. Another match. It's like, why is everybody on this card wrestling like Seth Rollins? Like, why? Why are they all doing the same thing? I hope with the new implementation of this 5-minute match they're having with a clock, they're actually doing this testing. I think it's in dark matches. They're putting a clock on the Titantron. Or on the stage. Ain't the Titantron no more. But on the stage, they're putting like a 5-minute clock. And they're like showing the audience that, hey, this match is going to conclude within 5 minutes. I like that because that lets the performers know y'all are on a hard clock and everybody knows it. Y'all don't have time to be doing no 15-minute banger match, going through a picture-in-picture commercial. Like, we don't need that all the time. That should be saved for a pay-per-view, a blood feud, a match where the guys don't want to give up. Not just Austin Theory versus Carmelo Hayes. Like, why is that? Why is he doing a Spanish? Anyways, I'm glad that nobody got seriously injured. But like I said, I knew somehow they would both lose. Wouldn't be surprised if both of them are in stables within 6 months. So yeah, that's basically it. My little rant on stables, what they're doing with Bobby Lashley and The Pride, Carmelo Hayes, and Austin Theory.